Mediocre Hobbies Podcast, Season 2, Episode 15. Andy thinks the cities of Sigmar look easy to paint. Follow us online. Andy is at mediocrehobbies.com. Tom is at tomlandy.com.
Oh, that's a good blur.
Blur a second and fix that after. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Mediocre Hobbies podcast. Me and Mr. Thomas here shall be arguing about whole world for the next however many decides to leave the video. I don't know how long it will be, but yes, we did lots of arguing. I mean, vivid discussion. Daughters of Khaine, Battle Force Khaine, Slaughter Coven by 2.
That's last Christmas's battle box.
Yeah.
I found 2 available, so I ordered them. I hadn't realized how expensive Daughters of Khaine were until last night. So I was playing computer and I was chatting to my mate Dave, and I was like, blah blah blah, what am I doing for this? We're doing this event in Coventry in November, I think it is. I was like, what am I going to do? Blah blah blah. And I'm tempted to do a lot of stuff. I'm tempted to do some printing and stuff, and I was like, well, I have this. I've got a couple of them on my desk because I want to do paint schemes.
Yep.
So, and I was looking at it, and do you know how much in euros 5 snakes cost?
Yeah, it's like 45 euros or something.
50 euros.
50 euros.
Do you know how much 10 witch elves cost?
45 euro.
I'll give you a clue. It's the same number. It's 50 euros. Do you know how much? Pick a unit, Canary. For 5 very spindly, teeny tiny models. They're really good models. But
So
Christ, there's no plastic. So I worked at I was walking the dog last night and I looked and I was like, well, what's in an army? What can I add to this army? And I was like, oh, they still have a Christmas box. Brill. And so the Christmas box equates to the equivalent of like 300 euros worth of stuff. And if I just buy it twice, then I've got because I think it's so stupid to spend 100 quid that's going to save me money. And then I need another 10 witch elves, and that's another 50 quid. So I just bought 2 boxes, and then I get the 2 boxes are 4 of the kits.
Yeah.
So
it was always my selling point for like when people were like, hey, Warhammer's going away and we're bringing Age of Sigmar, people are like, oh, it's a disgrace. And I'm like new Dark Elves were one of the last things they brought out in old Warhammer.
Yep.
And it was still a couple months before they dropped or anything like that, but like I played a couple of games of them. But it was the whole thing of like, okay, if you want a squad of 40 Daughters of Khaine in a squad with a cauldron in it,
yep,
that's like 300 euro. It's like 300 euro for 1 unit in your army. Now it's a lot of points it's going to take, but you're talking about 300 for this square of, and people it's just ridiculous. Like,
do you know what? It wasn't even that bad. Like, they've had 3 books since Age of Sigmar dropped, and they've steadily gotten worse because they were a bit too OP at the beginning.
Yes, they were.
And so they've been toned down quite a lot. So actually 300 quid for the best unit in the game wasn't that bad. It was a lot of money, but you know what I mean? Like, in terms of the best unit in the game. Now it's a bit crap. Like, they hit a lot, but they've no rend and do 1 damage. So it's not like, they're not very good.
Well, they're very buffy. So
yeah. And actually, I think they were pretty bad for this edition with the new General's Handbook, because the only wizards they have are the snakes and the Medusa on top of the
cauldron.
What's it called? The cauldron, the thing.
Blood.
Sure. Yeah. Well, whichever one. She's a wizard, but then all the humanoids, they're priests, so they're not witches. Wizards. You can only have 3 wizards at most, unless you take Marathi, but Marathi's 700 points.
Yes, she's usually taken though.
Yeah, she's very good. That was the other option, was like buy Marathi, or I could buy this other box for 100 quid. Like, that was my thing. It was like 70 quid on this one box or 100 quid in this other box. I'm paying in sterling, by the way. And it's like, so that's a big project that's going to happen. Now I've got a shed.
Yeah, it's one of the armies I bought all of before I left Games Workshop. I bought a full, I was filling in the gaps on stuff, and I bought a huge Hedoneth Slanesh army, and I bought a huge Daughters of Khaine army.
Yep.
Because I just never really had them.
Yep.
So they're there. Whenever I decide to get them, they're ready for me. I'm sure I will want to do them at some point. And like you said, like, if I was to try and buy those ranges at full price now, it would literally cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's something about the current pricing that's changed, because obviously it's gone up about a fiver from what you think it is to what it is. But I
Yeah.
don't know if there's something about it that's. It definitely feels like bad value. 10 witch elves for like 110 points for €50. It's a great kit. Like it's good. It's detailed. It's 110 points.
Yeah.
You know.
I play guardsman. You know.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I
40
kind of
quid for 60 points worth of models.
I felt the same with the pink horror, blue horror, brimstone horror. But at least the blue horrors and brimstones come together. Like at least it's not.
And that box set is quite cheap, like 26 quid, and you get like 20 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. And they're a lot of points. Like if you take the pinks, the blues, and the brimstone, like that unit's like 300 points or 350 points or something for 10. Because it's 50 wounds, like 10 pink.
Well, it's one box of pinks and 2 boxes of brimstones and blues to do it properly, because it's 10, 20, 20, right? But it's I'm broken. I can't even speak. So let's talk about something that I'm also excited about, and we're also expecting soon. Cities of Sigmar.
Oh,
I know, right?
I can't wait. It's one of the first sets where I've said, if Games Workshop very kindly sent me out one of those box sets, I don't care. I'm going to buy another one.
Like, because there's about 150 points in the box set.
Yeah, if you're looking, if you fold the paper into an origami steam tank, maybe.
It's a pretty weak box set from the looks of it, from points point of view. But oh my god, is it a good box set from models? Like they're so. I'm interested to see how you do them. I've been talking about these guys a lot. I think they're actually easier than they look, but
I can see why they look complicated. But like you, I think there's going to be easy schemes out there.
I think they're going to be easier than the last batch of orcs they did.
Not Crow Boys, the
Crow Boys. Yep.
I don't think they're going to be super complicated to paint. I don't think.
There's a lot of texture, is the way I'm looking at it.
Which is contrast heaven.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's a lot of metal,
and
so, like, I'm zoomed in looking here at the standard bearer for the unit, and he's got his metal helmet, skin, collar is cloth, then the like shoulder tabard is cloth and leather, then there's metal, there's chainmail on the arms, then at the elbow there's cloth, then there's vambraces, I guess, because they're not gloves, because he hasn't got gloves on. Then there's a belt in the middle of the armor, and then you go down into cloth on the left and the right, some pouches, metal, chainmail, trousers, knee guards. What do you call leg vambraces? Because they're not boots, because once again, his shoes are different colors. And then his shoes. Like, there's a lot of different texture, and a lot of that is metal. So I wonder how contrastable they'll be.
You're piece of piss.
Pish. Well, we'll find out soon enough, won't we, Andrew, when you do your videos?
Oh, I'm going to do so many videos on these. I'm just going to do just a video on everything. Like, just give me them all now. Like, yes. I can't find the bloody article with the infantry, and I'm looking at the...
it's from the first as well.
The fire dude is the only one I'm like, not
I don't like him, but I like that they've tried something different.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of this is on the model and how much of it is painted, but if they've put that leather texture on the plastic, then I'm sold. If they've just painted that on, that guy needs a pay raise.
I think that's texture. I think that's on the model.
Well, we'll know soon.
Ugh. He's cool. He's just like, when I buy my second box, I won't be in a rush to do anything special. The second one, I'll just put him in the bin probably. But
yeah, he's not. I don't like him at all. I don't like anything about him.
He doesn't look like he's part of that army. He looks like a Warcry chaos dude.
Yeah, maybe there's a different head, that would be fine.
Well, yeah.
I do like it. I think it's a very well done model. I just don't see it making sense. So for me, I'm out, I guess. But
one of the things that I'm hopeful for and curious of is like the knights that you get in the box are all very different.
Yep.
And I'm kind of hoping that they're showing you like how varied you can make them, but you can make them a little bit more uniform, same shield, same helmet, same, so they look like they're all from the same knights.
I don't think you can. I think they've said you can't.
Yeah.
Can I also point out, if you're looking at the knights, have a zoom in on the old knight standard bearer. That horse has the most swagger of any horse that has ever horsed.
Yes.
Like, he's unbelievable. And so I was talking to someone about this the other day. I think if the book allows it, I think this is where I buy 40k horse rider and what's his name? The Archduke of riding a horse with metal legs. What's his name?
Oh, Lord Solar.
Yeah, Lord Solar Horseman. Buy him as my general, and then get a box of the Rough Riders and using spare bits from these knights, convert them so that they're not 40k. Because it only requires some shields and, change the tips on because the horses are perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess to me it's just that like they're kind of stealing the Bretonian thing. Like each one is a different household or a different thing.
Sure.
So if I have 10 of them, that'll bother me. 5 of them will be fine. But if I have 10 of them and it's like the sergeant has to be that same dude with the big X, being like, that's not gonna work. I want a squad of 10.
Well, the question is this a multi-part kit or is this
Yeah.
not a multi-part kit?
Yeah,
I would imagine it's got to be the multi-part kit though, because
yeah, I'm fairly sure, and I'm kind of hopeful that I can have a more generic look to them. But then you have that goddamn lion model, and then the world just changed once that model was shown off.
Who the Manticore lady?
Oh,
I mean, it's gorgeous. I'm just going to once again ask Games Workshop to please make a giant model that I could transport.
Nope.
Anywhere, please.
Never. Nope.
I think he's really, really cool. I don't care about her multiple weapons. I like that they've given that as an option just because that never happens. I think his tail is brilliant. I think the lion head, the detail is phenomenal. I can be as critical as I want. There isn't a bad model in this box. I kind of feel like the humans look a little bit tired. Like there's a real sense of weariness to some of them. Like they look very like lots of kind of like bags under their eyes and stuff. And someone, I think it might have been on the stream, they said something like, these guys do not represent a city of Sigmar.
No.
That the symbols on the banners are the city they will found if they win the battle.
Yeah, it's their like promised. So they talk about like these Dawnbringer crusades are sent out like every week. They send out a new one from these big cities, like hundreds of thousands of people and all sorts of bits. And it's like less than 1% of them make it to their final place and set up their town successfully and survive. So you can imagine why they're all tired. And
yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? The Free Guild Fusiliers.
Yes.
Look like one-shot black powder guns with bayonets on sticks.
Yeah, so beautiful Fusiliers. Looks like they're going to be quite a heavy-hitting shooting unit. They talk about firing 3 rounds at a time kind of thing. So their gunpowder boy seems really cool.
I don't know why nobody's talking about the fish cat.
There's a fish cat. They put so many weird things on their bases.
Yeah. So if you see the guy who's the standard bearer.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the one just before that. No one's talking about him.
Have you seen the one on the cavalry?
The snail man.
The unicorn snail with legs for reasons I don't know what's going on.
I think somebody has lost their marbles.
They've just had like a bad acid trip or something. So
yeah, really cool models though. Like really, really cool. I like them a lot.
What's left to see? Like, I mean,
well, we've got the guy riding the ogre or whatever.
Oh yeah. The lieutenant on top of his thing, so he didn't get killed, issuing orders and firing his weapon down on him. So cool.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird approach, but I kind of feel like it makes that seems to be.
I think it's the whole like making it like something as mundane as an Empire army, high fantasy.
I don't even think it's that. I think like we have certain things in our heads that are weird, right? Because we've grown up with things that are different.
Yeah.
And I imagine if you grow up in like maybe you grow up in Iran, you've got a different thing in your head that's weird that we would think. But like the idea of riding a troll essentially as a chariot is pretty weird, but the orcs do it, and so why wouldn't you do it as a human if you've got the same kind of like it's the same as riding a horse, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's just a motif / metaphor that they're kind of going for with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. I guess that whole like the progression of what's an Ogren bodyguard? How does he protect you more than you think?
Yeah.
What if he's up high? Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I think it's some really good stuff. I think these are equally as I think these are easier to paint because there's a lot more cloth.
Yeah.
My real fear for this whole release is what can you actually get in an army and how much is it going to actually cost you?
Yeah, I mean, if I started off and I got 2 of those box sets, so I had my 40 infantry and my two characters and 10 horses, and they probably sent out the handgunners and that other character. If I got those bits and pieces on a shelf done,
Yep, 1,000 points.
I'd be happy to wait for the next set of stuff to drop. And I'm tempted to do them as my old Empire army, so I'll do them as the Sterling scheme, so the green and yellow, and just be like, yeah, this is that heraldry kind of carried on. It's gonna be epic.
Time to say goodbye.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you do the usual: like, comment, subscribe, follow, check the Twitters. It's all in the description below, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.